Hello. Hi. Hello, everybody. What's good, everyone? Okay, so let's continue on this beautiful miniature that we have painted the last time. As you might remember, we basically mostly just base coated the skin. So you might notice many changes. For example, I started working on the face. I actually think it's pretty much done at this point. And that is simply because I don't think that I would be able to paint it on stream. That's too much pressure. So yeah, I finished it already. But I will still show you how to paint the rest of the skin because I think that there has been significant progress when it comes to thighs, but the rest of her skin is still not finished. And I think that we will touch the thighs as well. So let's get into it, I guess. And as always, if anyone sees any kind of issue or with sound, with video, just let me know in the chat and I will try to solve it. So first, I think that we will touch up the skin again. For example, one thing that I didn't mention is that I had to fix some of the mistakes that I made during the preparation of the model. So this white stuff that you see on her arm is basically just milliput, the white one. So I fixed that issue. Another gap was right here on her belly. Don't know if it's visible. I think so. So I used milliput for that as well. So definitely we have to cover those parts and then we'll see how to proceed. So last time I mostly used just mahogany brown and beige red. So we'll start with those. In Czech Republic, it's especially hot today. So unfortunately, I'll have to use these rubber gloves, which I'm always using when I'm recording, especially for the longer sessions. That's because if I touch the model with my sweaty hands, that's gonna be trouble. I wonder what do you guys do when your hands are sweaty? Do you wear gloves? Do you wear gloves, or do you turn on AC, or anything like that? I feel like that if I actually bought an AC just for this studio, it would be way too loud. Okay, there we go. So yeah, as I said, this white stuff is not paint, that's milliput. So let's start covering it. And there is also quite high likelihood that I'll have to send it down later. Okay, this is certainly better. Also on my streams I will try to not lick my brush as much as I can, but sometimes I won't be able to help it. Hey Mirko. Johnny Man-Thing finally set a reminder to catch the stream. Welcome to the stream. The hobbies. Have you ever played Kingdom Death or just fan of the minis? I've always been Kingdom Death curious. Kingdom Death is in fact my favorite game, and I am not even like I'm not even playing Warhammer at the moment. All I have time for is Kingdom Death, in fact. So I love it, yeah. It's pretty awesome. And it's definitely not as sexy as these pinups are. It's pretty tame, actually. Hello, ma'am. Good evening. How are you, Hendarian? Also, the big difference between Warhammer and Kingdom Death is that Kingdom Death is a board game, and it's a cooperative board game. So that means that you can basically play it whenever you want. It's even possible to play it solo. I actually started my solo campaign this week, I think. It's pretty fun. Yeah, it's alright. I am just so hot right now. I'm sweating. I don't even know if it's visible on camera, but whatever. There's also the reason why I'm wearing these gloves right now, because otherwise the miniature would get fucked. Okay, I think this will work, so now let's base coat the white spot on her belly, which is covered with milliput. And now we'll actually see whether I covered it properly or not. Very tricky to catch this on camera. It's too bad that I missed this spot at the start, because now I am painting in the areas that I already covered. It kinda sucks. Old Spartan. I'm painting Grinirax Lundkort right now. Probably some of my favorite GW miniatures. I actually have this warband as well, and I'm really looking forward to painting it. Like, everything from Gloomspite Gits is very quirky. I love it. I feel like playing the what it's called, Warhammer Underworld, right? It's very rewarding in that sense that you can paint so many different warbands, and every single one is so different from each other that you can have so much fun with painting them. You only need your Patreons to finally finish your army for Age of Sigmar. Yeah, so what I did in some of my videos is that I challenged my patrons to paint squigs for me, and that's my actual army for Age of Sigmar. And I kept those squigs that my patrons sent me, and I gave them some of my own minis. Well, actually, I think that I owe to Mirko his very own Space Marine that I painted. How is everyone doing? Pretty good, just so hot. Yeah, I'll have to send it to you, but honestly, I have no idea what's wrong because I already tried it 2 times. At least you weren't in Texas last month, that's success. It's like 28 Celsius in here. I'm not sure what's that in Fahrenheit, but you can tell me if it's like that in Texas. Heresy. Don't worry, it's fine. No, I definitely have to give that. I have to give the squig to you, but I don't know. Maybe at some workshop. "78 Fahrenheit inside is hot." Yeah, I have no clue what 78 Fahrenheit is. Thank you for the Prime. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot for your YouTube videos. Nice to see you here. Keep going. I will try, definitely. Thank you for the follow, Mad Hatter. "49 Celsius, Jesus. I would die." Touch wood. I thought that the knock on wood is just Eastern European thing. I didn't know that you have that in Ireland. My AC was struggling to keep up. Well, at least you have an AC, you know. I have nothing. So what do you guys think about this face? I feel like this is pretty much finished. I really like the result. I also spent like fucking, I don't know, 5 hours on it. So I don't think I'll touch that at all. I couldn't live without AC. Yeah, well, fuck me. So now I'll start touching the thighs from the bottom. We'll fix that a little bit because I feel like the volumes are not painted the exact way that I would want them to be. Face is stellar, in my opinion. Thank you. Might need to bump the skin up a touch in the highlights to match the paleness of the face. Which areas of the skin would do you think? Because of course the upper part of her body is not done like at all. Of the face, mine is blown from the eyes and eyeshadow. Yeah, those are actually eyelashes. I will try to zoom in on it, but honestly, I don't think it'll let me. Yeah, no, this is it. I hope that you are viewing it on your computer screen. Otherwise, I don't think it's visible really. So yeah. Oh yeah, like the shoulder is not done at all. However, the shoulder is not like a perfect sphere, so we'll see where it goes. This camera angle is so unforgiving. Once I start sweating a lot, it'll be messy. Yeah, so first I think that I'll fix the thighs. And then we can move up. And once we move up, I will start using my airbrush as well, so you guys will see that. It's really a satisfying process, I think. If you have PA paints, watch for popping bottles. What is PA paint? Is that like a dropper bottle or what is that? Oh, Procurel, I see. Okay. Yeah, I do have them actually. And funnily enough, Procurel is so strong that I cannot even get it off from my t-shirt that I spilled it on. Usually doesn't happen with Citadel. Oh, you guys cannot see it. There we go. Okay, this is also not blended the way I want it to be, but once we get to the airbrushing stage, you'll see that it's fine. If your bottles are laying on their side, it'll pop in the heat. Oh no, then it's fine. Even facing up, okay, then I'm fucked. After you shake them, then they can pop and gets paint all over the place. Okay, I'll watch out for that. But to be honest, I'm not using Procurel all that much, so I think I'll be fine. I don't know, I just find myself using VOD4 and AK Interactive most of the time anyway, so yeah. We can't get Vaiho in the States, and AK is hard to get in individual bottles. Okay, I see. Well, in Europe it's very easy. For both brands, actually. Currently using Procreal to try paint some jade weapons. It's my first time trying any kind of non-metallic metal-ish effect, and it's not going well. Don't you worry, because the first NMM that you'll try to paint will always, or almost always, look shit, so it's fine. Have you tried the new Vaiho game Color Range? What's your thoughts? I have, but I don't own any myself, but I tried them because Arnaud Lazaro brought some to his workshop, and they are pretty fantastic. I would definitely buy, like, honestly, the entire range if I could, but I think that I'll pick just like 10 to 20 different bottles. Pro Acryl and Scale 75 paints are easy to get in the US, so I just use those. Yeah, I'm that's quite unfortunate because both of the brands that you mentioned are not the ones that I use. So go Europe, I guess. Why did I thought the stream starts at 20 and not 19? Okay, never mind. Hello everyone. Hey, how are you? Thank you for the follow, Monkey Tree Minis. I feel like the more I touch this area, the more I fuck it up, but that's quite usual for me. In the end, it'll work out, hopefully. With Vaiho, ignoring the US market allowed Monument to grow like they have. Okay, I see. Ah, pretty good. Need to finish some Space Boys after a month. Are you painting an army or is that like your kill team? Squat for a guy, so thank you for the follow, Krazit. If I'm butchering your name, I'm so sorry, but yeah. Okay, I feel like this part is good enough as it is. Once I airbrush it, it'll be perfect. Hopefully. This angle will be very weird in the preview of the stream. I hope that all the viewers that are coming in are not joining the stream just for this particular angle. So, some of you guys said that the shoulder should be painted more like a sphere, if I remember correctly. And you are not wrong, but the issue is that this sphere, which is not a perfect sphere, should be connected to this cylinder, right? Spectacular job, congrats. Thank you, Belial Spain. Getting good sable brushes in the US has been a pain in the ass over the last year. Yeah, fortunately this is not a problem in the European Union, but the problem is that they are very expensive. For example, Winsor & Newton at this moment cost like, I think $20. That's a lot. This is bringing back memories of fat glazing. Yeah, this is kind of fat glazing, I guess. I mean, honestly, you can work with all kinds of paint consistency. But if you have more paint in your brush, then you just have to adjust what kind of brush stroke do you make. Like, it's definitely not the case that you are using two thin coats for everything and it just works. It doesn't. I mean, if you are just painting miniatures for your army, then I guess, sure, why not? And I guess it's always better to go thinner than fixing a big ugly texture on your miniature. But still, I don't think that you necessarily have to always go that thin. I found a vendor that sells Rosemary and Co. Sable hair. I ordered some Series 8. They're apparently the only US vendor allowed to sell them. That's strange. It's kind of monopolistic, isn't it? Shit, I just licked my brush. I'm so sorry, chat. I won't do that ever again. That's a lie. They are apparently the only... Oh, okay. Already read that. I mean, can't you even get like Winsor & Newton Series 7? I thought those kind of brushes are everywhere. Lick my brush again. There we go. I just can't contain myself, you know. The paint tastes so good. Yeah, this highlight is way too harsh. We'll have to kind of feather it a little bit. I have the Samland specials of that. I didn't know that Samland is even selling brushes. He doesn't. He mostly uses cheap brushes from Hobby Lobby. Oh yeah, that's right. He uses those synthetics. Asiroka, yo there people, nice to see you around here. Hey, how are you? Thank you for the follow. Looks great so far. Is this a Kingdom Death monster model? It's Kingdom Death model, but not necessarily Kingdom Death monster model, because it's not a gaming piece. But I guess like you can call it Kingdom Death or Kingdom Death monster, doesn't matter. Yeah, it's from Kingdom Death. Good evening, hope everyone stayed cool so far. So hot today. Yeah, tell me about it. I am sweating. Explain it in 5 minutes. How to lick brush. I mean, that could be explained in 1 minute, maybe 30 seconds. Hell, in 1 sentence. So I'll start new series, explained in 1 sentence. I like my brushes because I want to keep that nice tip. Just clip this and there we go. Love that mini. It's also in my backlog. Hashtag phrasing. Keep that nice tip. Always gotta keep the tip moist. Ain't that right? I see that we have multiple men of culture in the chat. Fantastic. Why is it putting emoji on a single? Yeah, no idea. Hello, Zumikito. Hello, chat. Hey, Snickson, how are you? Thank you for the follow. I wonder how many of you guys have came here from just browsing through Twitch app, or came here from my Instagram story or YouTube. This model, a nice work. Thank you. Appreciate it. All of it. YouTube, great videos. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not using the community tab very often because I don't feel like I have too much to say. And if I do, I just make a video about it, right? But this felt like a good opportunity. I saw the YouTube post and came over. Awesome. Glad that it works. Thank you for the follow, Arturitis. I know that I'm butchering it, but yeah. I was on your Patreon for a bit, but had to cancel all of them when I lost my job. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. No pressure at all. I hope that you found a new one, hopefully. Game here by Twitch notifications. Awesome. I'm painting skin tones too. Awesome. I wonder if people are actually painting along the stream. Clearly some of you are. But I feel like if you actually have to paint, you are watching your own mini and not my stream, so you kind of get less value from the stream. But I guess it's always nice to have a painting partner. Yeah, I started a new job last month. I hate it. Jesus, too bad. Zombicide, getting the heroes ready. Yeah, but you are a good company. Well, thank you. I mean, am I a sweaty nerd like me with broken English? Who isn't sweaty? Yeah, I guess that's true. Building a model while listening, man. I don't know about you guys, but my least favorite part of the hobby is definitely building the models. Because I feel like whenever you are gluing them together, there is a certain chance that you can cut off too much of the plastic when you clip it out of the sprue. And sure, you can fix it, but it's just very complicated. And of course, then there is the cleaning of the mold lines, which is awful. Attempting to paint. I made a fresh wet palette, so we are getting there. Now to actually paint. I hate assembly, yeah, well, same. I hate building, love painting, yeah. I am totally the same. Fucked it up. Just give me a Zenithal Prime photo, good to go. My man. Yeah, totally agree with that. Yep, I'm painting mini for a small competition and I hate it because it's so small and very detailed. I'm kinda convinced that once I get a bit older, that I will be kinda forced to paint bigger miniatures. Like 75mm scales at most. I don't think that I would go bigger than that. Modeling is the fun part. Panic sets in when I break out the paint. So much can go wrong. Yes, but you can paint over your paint, right? You cannot assemble over your assembly. Come on, you coward. Kingdom Death models are fun to paint. I did a Screaming God pinup for a friend. Yeah, that's a fun model. I have it waiting for me as well. I think at this point I might have the same amount of Kingdom Death models in my pile of potential as many models as Warhammer. Which is quite something, to be honest. I bought a bunch of Mindwork stuff, but I'm scared to paint them. Yeah, when it comes to those more expensive minis, that's definitely true for me as well. I have like 3 busts waiting for me, and since they were more expensive, I don't think that I will get to them soon. I can't say no to their Brom stuff. LOL. Well, I am not too familiar with Mindwork models. Like, obviously I know some of them, but not the Brom stuff. Thank you for the follow, Zamora and Ulti Bacon. Okay, I think that I will not touch this side. Or actually, you know what, I will. I don't really have to, but let's do it. Because this is essentially a cylinder, I know that I have like a highlight in here and the other one on the other side, which is absolutely fine, but I wanted also another highlight in this direction. And it's not as important in this part, but I definitely have to do it right here. This is not as much a highlight as it is just spreading of the mid-tone. Still works though. Thank you for the follow, Omifa. Have you seen any of the Nom Nom stuff? Oh, I definitely have. Just hold on a minute. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, MTech Productions actually is a huge fan of Nom Nom miniatures. So he keeps me updated on their stuff. Yeah, they do like 3D printable STLs for just 3D printable miniatures, you know. I mean, I am not wrong, right? I am a mod for their server. So aren't you a huge fan of theirs? What do you mean? I want to eventually do their massive terrascoped. Not familiar with that, unfortunately. I haven't printed anything from them in ages. Few bids have tickled my fancy. I'd be seriously tempted to print their Tiamat. I would love to see it painted. Someone wants me to print and paint that. Yeah, unfortunately I am not familiar with those miniatures at all. Thank you for the follow, Volkodov. Alright, so I think that this is pretty good. I will just try to fat glaze into this highlight a little bit. But other than that, I will airbrush the transitions and it'll be fine. You'll see. Just add a bit of a highlight on top of that. Tiamat, the 5-headed dragon from D&D. Still, no clue what it is. There's been a few done. None have amazed me yet. Not too much into D&D myself, but totally get the appeal. Also, one thing that I don't really understand, if D&D can be played without miniatures, why are there so many D&D related miniatures? Or like, how much of a benefit does it bring to the table if you bring miniatures? DMs are lazy. So that's a reason to bring miniatures or to not bring them? Because D&D is a combat simulator, I'm planning on new pen and paper RPG, but nobody will play it with me. Yeah, well, welcome to the club, because I never played D&D because I had no one to play it with. Well, for some people, it's easier to have a visual reference on the table. Yeah, well, makes sense. Some people enjoy theater of mind, D&D. Some prefer to have everything visualized. Yeah, fair enough. I just don't know how crunchy are the rules. So, like, if you don't have the miniatures to represent your hero, then how do you like calculate the movement and distance from the monster and stuff like that? It's a bit confusing, is what I'm saying. Some games like Vampire the Masquerade or Call of the Cthulhu are very roleplay heavy and more focused on theater of the mind stuff. Okay, yeah, that's fair. For some people, minis are totally not necessary, but for another well-painted minis, dioramas or terrain are just another part of pleasure. Yeah, of course. I totally agree. Well, it's certainly a hell of a lot more straightforward than in Warhammer. So does like the distance from the monster matter at all, or does it not? Worst case, pick a blank paper, draw boxes. Take a piece of rubber, voila! You have a battlefield and hero. Okay. I mean, as long as it works for the people playing, right? But again, since I am not very familiar with the rules, I really cannot tell you if it makes sense or not. Yeah, I will leave this as it is, and everything will be fixed with an airbrush. I really hope that we'll get to that, because once you see it, it's gonna be crazy. Most creatures have a set movement, spells, etc. So range is important, but this is all about combat, which is only one aspect of the game. I'd say, for example, our campaign is 60% story, 40% combat. Yeah, like, I totally understand that everything that is story-based can be in the theater of the mind. But the combat aspect is what worries me. Evening, average mini painter, how are you? One off-topic question, and I'm going to focus on the edging. Edging and rimming. Isn't that right? Do you plan to do some viewer competition or live workshop in Prague this year? I'm open to hosting like a workshop, live workshop. But I'm not sure about the competition part. But we'll see. But if I'll make a competition, it's definitely gonna be online and not just focused for Prague or Czech Republic for that matter. Not everybody uses models in D&D, but in my opinion, if you don't like these whole rules, there are different RPG systems. I wonder whether like Warhammer RPGs are any good, and if there is a need for models. Prague 2024, Return of the Doorbreaker. Yeah, so MTech Productions was actually in this year's workshop that I hosted in like January, I think. And when they were at their Airbnb, they broke the key. There was a Warhammer D&D style game at one point, I think. Don't know if it was good or not. Also, thank you to everyone who followed me just right now. I can't keep up. I think I fucked it up a little bit. If you see this line that is supposed to separate her butt and the thigh, I painted into it, which kind of sucks. Oh jeez, oh jeez. Christ. There are Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th Edition and Dark Heresy, and Warhammer Fantasy is one of the most popular systems in Poland. Like for RPG, right? I didn't know that. But overall, it's very fascinating to me that Poland is such a huge market for Warhammer when you compare it to Czech Republic. For example, you guys in Poland have Games Workshop. We, in Czech Republic, have jack shit. We have just local gaming stores, and that's about it. And the phrase Poland is nuts for fantasy. Their LARP events are nuts. Yeah, of that I am aware. But LARP is also quite popular in Czech Republic. Do we have GW stockists? Well, I mean, I do paint Warhammer, and even though I could order it from outside the Czech Republic, I don't, because yeah, we do have local stock. I mean, we are a small country, but not that small. Okay, alright. Cheaper anyway than official GW stores. Yeah, most likely, but the cheapest Warhammer is from Poland, funnily enough. So what some Czech people do is that they order from Poland anyway, because it's like maybe sometimes even 30% cheaper. So yeah, if you don't want to support your local gaming store, that's a no-brainer. Oh yeah, there is also big Warhammer Battle LARP. These guys even build machines on cars so they can... Okay, wow, that's insane if they actually involve cars. Okay, as you can see, this part, the butt is way too light at this point, and that's not a problem at all because it will be darker once I glaze it with my airbrush. We have no money, GW in Poland, so it has to be cheaper. I mean, I don't think that's true. I thought that the standard of living in Poland is pretty good. But what do I know? I'm not Polish. I think that's good. Just some little touch-ups here and there. Woo! If you guys have a recommendation for an AC that is somewhat quiet, that would be helpful. Right now I feel like I started in the worst months possible because it's hot as hell in here. OG makes nice window units. But isn't it too loud though? That's my question. With noise cancelling, not really. I don't even know how to turn on the noise cancelling feature. Is it like a feature on Twitch? Or do I have to activate it in OBS? Can't give you AC recommendations, but I can give you quality bidet recommendations. I don't think that in our apartment there is a room for a bidet. I don't know if you guys can see this. This part right here. But I think that it was dry. And I still ripped it off for some reason. That's unfortunate. Oh, jeez. Thank you for the follow, average Irish dude. How are you doing? Thank you. So actually, have you found this stream through YouTube or my Instagram or just browsing Twitch? Have you painted the dong dress pin-up from KDM? What the hell is that? What is the actual name? Your guides are very helpful. Well, I'm very glad to hear that. Which videos in particular have you watched and found helpful? Just found it on Twitch. Huh. Perhaps I should run a poll because seriously, I am just wondering if people find me through Twitch or YouTube or IG. Guides on the different techniques. Okay, awesome. Are you painting anything at the moment? Like blending or stippling? Thank you for the follow, Hookies. Hizumikito, I love your videos on YouTube and I now found you on Twitch. I've got the Leviathan knits to Zenithal Prime. Awesome. I'm not painting anything yet. Average Irish dude. Oh, maybe you can join us and you can reduce that pile of shame that I'm sure you have. I'm going to go pretend to be a Spanish painter and do some airbrush glazing. So basically what I am doing. Later on, I mean. I'm building the Marines from Leviathan and go August test. Not sure, not familiar with that. I'm attempting a value sketch for the first time on some Drukhari. Pile of opportunities, of course. Pile of potential. Forgive me for not being inclusive enough. Such strong words that I have used. Yeah, so as I mentioned just a while back, similar highlight to this one will be on this side as well. And this is actually more important because basically this is the golden angle, right? Just covering her genitalia. And yeah, this is pretty much the golden angle of this mini, I feel like. Can't wait to see you rave this picture. Oh god. It was the old Satan pinup model. Huh. Oh yeah, I actually remember. Yeah, I definitely cannot show that on YouTube or Instagram or Twitch for that matter. So I don't think that I'll get to it. I'm going to paint my Marines bone or sand color with arms, heads, shoulder pads, and Aquila being different in each company of my homebrew chapter. I love pile of potential in currently, or there are no problems, only challenges. What is this, the box? Shirt cannon. Yeah, still, I don't think I know that box. I do, and well, I played a lot of Warhammer back in my day, which makes me sound very old. But I started at like 5th edition, and actually I am not playing that much Warhammer anymore because the rules are changing at a very rapid pace, and I just can't keep painting an army to my preferred standard and keeping up with the rules, right? And because of that, I decided to not play Warhammer anymore, since I can't have a nice looking army that is also kinda... that is at least playable. So nowadays, I am mostly playing Kingdom Death Monster. And I also used to play a lot of Marvel Crisis Protocol, which is an amazing game. You also don't need as many minis. I am also quite tempted to play Warhammer Underworld. But I also still like collecting 40k armies, just not playing with them necessarily. Right, now I'm learning Kill Team and Warcry. Yeah, those are actually pretty good games because you don't need as many models. But then I have an army ready. When I have an army ready, I'll learn 40k. Yeah, good for you. I still think that you might bump into the same issue, but you'll see. So you get us to paint your army instead. As far as I am aware, the rules aren't changing as much in Age of Sigmar, but not sure at this point. The Neuro Tyrant on your latest video has the exactly same carapace color I've been doing on my net, only mine are way shittier. I mean, that particular Tyranid is not even that well painted. I mean, it's okay for being dry brushed for 2 hours, right? But like nothing spectacular. I've heard Crisis. Have you gotten Shatterpoint yet? Well, I didn't really make any attempt to get into Shatterpoint, so no. I heard Crisis is good. Yeah, it's amazing, honestly. It's just that we don't have any real active local group that I can play with. Age of Sigmar will probably get a new edition next year. Yeah, that's true. But you know, it takes me like freaking 4 years to get my army done. I mean, it's still going. Now I'm forcing my patrons to paint my army for me. I haven't played the Warhammer since 4th edition. I'm trying to get back in now with 10th. With nets. Well, hopefully it goes well for you. And hopefully the point values will not change a lot. This year is for 40k. You could do knights. Yeah, I guess if I did knights, that would make it quite convenient because you don't have as many models. But then if the points change, doesn't it make your knights kinda useless? Less miniatures you have to paint. Yeah, that's true, but they are bigger. Or custodies. I've heard Shatterpoint is basically Marvel Crisis Protocol, but with Star Wars. So I have played Marvel Crisis Protocol a decent amount. I haven't tried Shatterpoint, but from what I have seen, the system is similar-ish. but definitely like a Marvel Crisis Protocol in Star Wars code. Oh, it's not like exactly the same. You could do combat patrol game. Yeah, like, sure. At the moment, I am having so much fun with Kingdom Death that I am not really motivated to go and play anything else. That is a mini I could never have shown in my showcase, or I would never have guessed. Too many questions. Really? How so? I don't see a problem. Are you like a super conservative Christian, or? I mean, there is no problem with it, is there? Simon doesn't want to do knights and beginners. Yeah, like overall, I don't prefer stuff that is way too big. That's good. It's nice having a game you enjoy and people to play it with. And also, the beautiful thing about Kingdom Death is that you can play it alone if you don't have anyone. But I do, fortunately. Oh no, I'm digging it. But I promise my guests would ask questions. Yeah, that might be the case, but you know, actually, today we had a grandma of my girlfriend over, and she has seen this mini, and she liked it. So, you know, it really depends. But I promise my guests would ask questions. Yeah, beautiful paint job though. Thank you. And we are still far from being finished. Grandma has good taste. Yeah, that's true. Hello, Baron Nero 20. Thank you for the follow. Anime Gears. Yeah, this is kind of anime miniature, I suppose. Yeah, that's another thing that I really love about Kingdom Death. It's kind of anime-ish, but not straight up anime because it's from Americans. Not like Americans cannot do any anime shit, but you know. And the game is really good, so yeah, it does check all the boxes for me. If anyone else in the chat likes Kingdom Death and they are waiting for the Gambler's Chest expansion, you might be happy to know that I am planning to make a video around that. I want to introduce Kingdom Death to a wider audience. Because honestly, the models are fantastic. Like, even if you don't like pinups, there are still plenty of models that are pretty great. And the game is also just... Now, aside from Kingdom Death, I think that I will try playing Warhammer Underworld, since I already have the Loon card, the Gloomspite Gates Warband. Yeah, but why though? Yeah, I still owe you that. And do not worry, I will definitely paint it for you. Yay. Jesus Christ, I'm sweaty. I might go and change my t-shirt because holy shit, look at that. Yeah, you know what? Let's take a break. And I will just change my t-shirt and come back. Maybe I'll get something to drink. So just hold on. I don't have any waiting screen, anything like that. So yeah. Oh yeah, that angle. Very convenient, right? I changed my t-shirt. Oh, look at it. That's some meat for you. Whew. It's so hot in here that chances are that I'll get sweaty as hell in a matter of minutes. And this, of course, is for you guys, because I won't turn on the fucking, how do you call it? Not AC, but the fucking thing that rotates. See, my English is fucking terrible. Because if I did, you would definitely hear it on stream. Is that the actual name? I had an urge to call it, yeah, fan. Thank you. Air rotator. What the hell? Thank you for the follow. Bruce Games Rights. Also, Paulinski. Ooh. Ooh. Will you be doing more of the Leviathan box minis? I will be doing some of them. So yeah, there's your answer, I guess. Do you have something particular in mind? Hi, first time watching you on Twitch. And do you know me from somewhere else? Either way, welcome to the stream. Cheers from Southern California. Enjoy watching your YouTube content. Thank you. I watch almost all your YouTube videos. Do you have a Discord or something similar? I do, but it's hidden behind my Patreon. I feel like since it's hidden behind a paywall, there are more, I don't want to say like quality people there, but it's more tame overall. It's not as wild. Okay, going to take a look at your Patreon. Okay, awesome. Like, definitely don't feel pressured to subscribe or anything. This is a very messy process. I should at least choose this the same direction for all of my brushstrokes. This is a bit too unstructured, but hopefully once I get to my airbrush, it'll be fine. I've been pondering about base coating with different colors that would work with the knit skin parts and what would work with a light bone color skin and green carapaces. I mean, honestly, there is so much that can work. If you have a green carapace, I would just choose something that is quite warm. Hey Zumikito, hey chat. Hey Gary, how are you? Thank you so much for the sub. You subscribed actually when I was offline, so yeah, couldn't really say thanks. I don't know the technical term, but basically using different color under the white zenithal. Yeah, just choosing a particular undercoat, I guess. And also, like, you don't have to always use a zenithal highlight, you know, it's just a technique. It doesn't have to be used all the time. By the way, Gary, if you are still here, I said just a few minutes ago that I'm planning to make a video about Kingdom Death once Gambler's Chest expansion is out, to introduce Kingdom Death to a wider audience. Because honestly, I just really love the game, and the minis, of course. I'm doing good. Yeah, I dropped it when you told me on Lantern's Reign that you will paint Aya on stream. Gotta support the plastic crack. Thank you. When? Being the keyword. Yeah, so for those of you unfamiliar with Kingdom Death and their fulfillment schedule, they haven't been very successful in predicting their timeline. So basically people are now waiting for their products for like 5 years or even more. And hopefully the Gambler's Chest will arrive maybe until the end of summer, if everything goes well. Yeah, but I just an airbrush and want to learn to use it. Also have the whole army look the same scheme. Chest expansion. Chat. It's never closer though. I waited for my base KDM game for 7 years because there was an error in shipping and support was slow. Okay, that's downright criminal. That's terrible. Jesus Christ, 7 years. You know, sometimes I tell myself that it's a pity that I didn't know about Kingdom Death back when it was in the Kickstarter stage. Or the second Kickstarter, at least. But on the other hand, at least I don't have to wait for so long, right? So I'm not frustrated. Thank you so much for subscribing with Prime. I said the wings. When did you discover KDM? Oh man. I think that my first Kingdom Death miniature was Warrior of the Sun. That was actually painted for my glazing explained in 5 minutes video. And actually that miniature was sitting for a while in my pile of potential, of course. And I guess that's about 4 years. Yeah, 4 years ago or so. Yeah, thank you so much, An Average Mini Painter, for subscribing. Oh, that is the video I discovered you though. Yeah. I mean, like, many people discovered me through Explained in 5 minutes videos. That's when I had my break. Well, not too bad, I guess. That series is great. Well, thank you, MTech Productions. I said the bed wings, love your work, Zumikito, keep the videos coming. Thank you, I will. Hey, fun, that's about the same time I discovered it as well. I don't think we missed much, except crazy discounted price. Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about, you know? You could get Gambler's Chest expansion for, what, $100? That's crazy. Now it costs $400. And I know there is inflation and stuff like that, but still. I'm participating, I'll still go back to it every now and again. Yeah, I wish to make more Explained in 5 minutes videos, but I'm running out of topics for that. But if you guys have any suggestions, like, you can leave them in the comments, in chat, whatever. Maybe I can use some of those. Woo! The 5-minute series was indeed great. I hate when people do 20-minute videos and 10 minutes is just rambling. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. That's also a reason why I did those videos, because I just felt like those simple techniques can be condensed into 5 minutes. Some of them could be condensed in 3 minutes if I tried. Yeah, I think the full bundle was $350 at some point. Now it's $2,000, if not more. Yeah, see? That's what I'm talking about. Original Gambler's Chest expansion on Kickstarter was $50. Yeah, that's just rimming. Yeah, I agree. Rimming is good. Rimming is excellent. But with YouTube changes, 5 min videos pay less than any over 10 min, I think. So the thing about this is that when you make YouTube videos, it used to be over 10 minutes, but now it's over 8 minutes. If you make them over 8 minutes now, you can put in more ads. So essentially that means, thank you for the follow, Donkey Boy 0. So that essentially means that if you put more ads in your videos, then yeah, YouTube pays more for those, right? But there is also a reason to make shorter videos, and that's because people are more likely to click on those, right? If you see 30-minute long video and you compare it with 5-minute videos, then you are more likely to watch the 5-minute video, right? So it kind of balances out, I think. Zumi, not to nitpick, but is that a mode line I see on her right arm? Her right arm. So is it this arm? And do you mean this structure? On her elbow? Sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. I mean, I did Raid Shadow Legends as well. Absolute best company ever. Go ahead and play their game. Yep, I know the pain of 30-minute videos. On the upper arm, maybe it is just because of the zoom by the camera. Oh, so you mean the separation between the shoulder and the chest? Yeah, if you mean that, it's not a mold line, but it's a gap. I tried to fill it with a primer, but I guess it didn't work, since you can see it. At some point I painted it in a way that it wasn't really visible. But yeah, from the shoulder down to the lower arm right. Okay, now I'm totally lost. That's just KDM plastics for you. I mean, no, that's my fault because I should have fixed that. Gaps are pretty much everywhere. Well, they are not present in 3D printing, I guess. If you don't split the print. By the way, I can recommend Mr. Liquid Resin for closing gaps. Okay, I'll look into that. Thanks everyone for the follow. I really cannot keep up with you guys, but just know that I'm very grateful for every follow that I get. Yeah, anyway, let's continue on this thigh. Resin crazy, baby. My god, the eyes look incredible. You like them? I mean, this face took like 5... Well, not just the face. When I was airbrush glazing, I went over the face and the bottom. So when you add that up, that took like 6 hours. And I think 5 hours of that was spent on the face. So, yeah. Nice colors blending. Well, thank you. Okay, I could screenshot it. I will PM it on Discord, if that is fine with you. Yeah, sure. I mean, for now, I will have to work on the thigh, anyway. I forgot Zumi had a Discord. But you do realize that I chat in Lantern's Reign. So how could you forget? Okay, I'm just trying to blend it as smooth as I can, but not spend too much time on it. Because I could do this for eternity, to be honest. And as I mentioned already a zillion times, once we get to airbrushing, it'll be like magic, and suddenly everything will be smooth. Someday I'll do art swap with Zumi. So we paint each other's minis. Is that the plan? Yeah, Zumi has to compete with Zero and Mumford for best paint jobs. Actually, I mean, sure. But do you remember the last pinup painting competition, Gary? My kids are so angry in this heat, gonna pack them away for the night. What time you on till, Zumi? Not sure. I think that I might do another 2 hours. We'll see. Paint a mini of choice or bust of choice, then swap. What? I still don't understand. Like, okay, so I paint a mini, you paint a mini, and then we swap it and paint over each other's paint job, or what is the point here? What is the gimmick? No, like, oh, okay, I see. So we just paint each other's minis, right? Where are you from? Well, clearly not from the US or UK, because you can see how broken my English is. I am from the Czech Republic, right next to Germany and Poland. Yep, exactly. Zumi and I are country neighbors. Nice. Now do a painting class. And I did, actually, this year in January. Are you from Germany or Poland? Or Austria, I guess? Yeah, Germany. Oh no, I missed the class. Shoot. Any When you do another one. No, actually, it might be next year. But if there is a solid demand, I might do another one this year. We'll see. Not anytime soon, though. Way too busy for that. So sorry, mate. Other one. It is so great to see you stream. Is this going to happen more regularly now? Yes. Actually, well, first of all, thank you. Second, I'm planning to stream every Wednesday and Saturday. Yeah. But the schedule might change. It really depends. For July, though, I would like to keep it like this. Is that the Redgrass Gaming Lite? Yes, it is actually. Is it worth the price? Well, given that I didn't pay anything for it, I would say it's worth it. Otherwise, I don't know. From what I've heard, it's about 300 euros, which is a lot. I mean, if it was like 200 euros, it's fantastic. But when you add value-added tax and everything, then it's around 300, which is really expensive. So, like, honestly, it really depends. Awesome. Honestly, I'm still kind of processing that you are also Czech. Nevím, co tě na to říct. Well, what the fuck are you doing here? But for us mortals, it's pricey. Well, yeah, 300 euros is definitely a lot. Compared to NeetFi, how is it? So, okay, let's talk about this, because there is something interesting happening when you compare Redgrass Creative Lamp to NeetFi. The color rendering is definitely so much better. Like, especially when you compare red, it's very noticeable. But unfortunately, you have to ask yourself, when you see your miniature in your cabinet or in a cabinet of a painting competition, then of course you see it. You don't see it in the same way as under your top-notch lamp, right? The color rendering in those displays is pretty shit, to be honest. So it's nice that you are painting with very good color rendering, but then the result is visible with shitty color rendering. So you see the problem? I mean, it's nice that you see it under the lamp, but in cabinets it doesn't really make a difference. So yeah. Such a cheeky model. She's looking great. Thank you. Watching the stream, duh. What 3D printer are you running these days, Zumi? I'm still running the Frozen 8K Mini. It's fantastic, like, honestly. Hello, how are you? I missed the stream, love Kingdom Death. Well, thank you for joining the stream, and thank you for subscribing, Unreal B. And thank you for subscribing, Apple Lamb. And how do you guys like those alerts? That's actually from one of my videos. You can't get over that sub notification. Thank you for the follow, the Torjack. Yeah, I can't get it. I read that already. Thanks for the answer. I got the shittiest desk lamp one I can find, and I really need to upgrade to something better fast. I mean, honestly, just like if you're on a budget, just buy the neat file lamp. It's fine. But like if you are painting every single day for multiple hours, it might be worth it if you purchase the Red Grass Creatives lamp. I like them, but the audio is choppy for me. Well, not sure if that's an issue on my side or yours. But at this point, I am sure that I can't do anything about it. So sorry. Eat me file, I can fix it. Okay, we'll do that later because, like, obviously I'm streaming right now. So what was the process here? Only acryl, airbrushed based layer. I airbrushed shades on some parts of the skin. So for example, you can see this magenta hint on her butt. So that has been airbrushed, but other than that, oh, and there is a hint of magenta on her face, but other than that, there hasn't been too much airbrushing involved. So yeah, but we will get to airbrush, hopefully this stream, but we'll see. Also, I need a really long stand on the light. I'm a tall guy, and when I rest my elbows on the table, the light needs to be really high. I think that the neat file lamp will be just fine. It is possible to airbrush for blending or tinting when you are in an advanced point of the painting process. Yeah, like, absolutely. You might even finish with your airbrush. Like, for example, I think that the thighs and this butt part, once I use my airbrush on it to shade it, it'll be pretty much done. Of course, I will touch her panties a little bit, but that's about it. Okay, thanks. I'll check that out. Or don't watch one of Zoomy Glaze video and Glaze. Yeah, that's also possible. Thank you for the follow, JSpace3. And for example, do you see how harsh is this transition? I will try to soften the mid-tone and the highlight, the transition between these two. But still, if I just airbrushed it, I know I am teasing this so much, but if I just airbrushed this transition, you will see that it gets very smooth anyway. So yeah. It really scares me. I do not want to paint on parts I already painted. Harsh. Yeah, it's not like super harsh, obviously, but skin is supposed to be, or in my book, skin is supposed to be the smoothest part of the miniature. You can make quite harsh transitions on like metallics and non-metallics, but skin tone, I feel like it has to be smooth. Significantly smoother than the rest of the textures. And also the way I glaze with my airbrush, it's really not dangerous at all. It's exactly the same method that Sergio Calvo uses. You just thin your paint to the point where it's basically just colored water, and you can apply like 20 layers to blend it, and it's still quite transparent, so of course you can see the layers underneath. It just looks blended. AK basic line 03. Not. Oh, hold on. I have a cheap airbrush with a 0.3 millimeter needle. Maybe that can be my issue, or is it just a skill problem? So the funny thing here is that I have an Infinity CR Plus airbrush, which costs like 250 bucks, and it broke down. It gets clogged all the time. Now I can't even use it at all. And meanwhile, I have an airbrush that I have been using for like 3 years, costs like $5 on Amazon or eBay or whatever, and it works like perfectly. So like you can do that with any dogshit airbrush. If you want to do detailed stuff, a 0.2 needle is great. Honestly, the difference is, I really cannot see difference between 0.2 and 0.4. It's so little that like doesn't really matter. At least I think so. Also, when I attended the workshop that was hosted by Arnau Lazaro, if you're familiar with the name, he also says basically the same thing, that the needle size doesn't matter nearly as much as people feel or think. I have the Angel brush, it's pretty great. Yeah, I mean, I guess mostly the difference between cheap airbrush and expensive airbrush is how comfortable it is in your hand, and if the parts are actually durable, I think. It's not the size, it's how you use it. Wink. Couldn't agree more. I got the harder Steenbeck Squidmore airbrush and the Sparmax compressor. I really like it. Yeah, honestly, any airbrush pistol will work. If you want to invest into something that is associated with airbrushing, get a nice, quiet compressor. Badger and Infinity here. I use Badger more. I'm not too familiar with the Badger brand, but I heard about it. But as said, I don't think it matters that much. I have harder than Steenbeck Infinity, but it is over 10 years old and in a bad shape. Thinking of replacing it. Any recommendations? Yeah, my recommendation is get a cheap ass airbrush from Amazon that costs $5 and see if you like it. And if you do, get like 5 of them, and those will last for a lifetime. If we are talking about just the pistol. Huh. Okay. You are glazing the skin right now. So I guess that I would describe this as a glaze consistency, but it's definitely not glazing. Whenever you are glazing, you are making a steady brush stroke from one place, from point A to point B. But in this case, I am basically just placing the pigment in the place I want it to be. So I would call this, and it's actually like a somewhat regularly used term. It is like glaze stippling, I guess. So glaze, yeah, exactly. Ah, you said it right now. Yeah, yeah. However, I think that this method can be sometimes quite difficult to execute because uh, whenever you place a big droplet of water that has some acrylic paint in it, then what it might do is that the pigment will start separating from the water and it will be pushed towards edges of the water drop, right? So you really have to be careful to not make too big of a drop of the water, if it makes sense at all. I hope it does. If you painted with oils, this is not the case, but like oils, of course, are quite problematic for me anyway. Yeah, okay. The thigh is pretty much done, and once I airbrush it, it'll be fantastic. Both thighs might be actually done. Huh. Actually, you know what? Let me spread this mid-tone on this side. So, since I already have some magnificent people from Kingdom Death community in my chat, how excited are you for the upcoming Gambler's Chest expansion? Because I'm quite pumped. I'm especially looking forward to painting those sweet, sweet armor sets. Okay, since I have no replies, I guess I should talk about Warhammer, right? Because that's just how it works. Whenever you lack engagement, just talk about or produce content around Warhammer. Actually, speaking of Warhammer, I am not sure if I wanna stream my competition piece because there is just not too much difference happening on camera. For example, my current project which is an incubi for Golden Demon. I think that I'll spend like 100 hours painting that single miniature, and I'll paint like 5 of those. And it's not gonna be exactly very engaging to paint on stream. But if you guys have any input or idea around that, I'll be more than happy to hear it. Quite pumped, but it is so many minis and I did not even finish building the base game. As someone who lost sight of KDM for a few years, I'm a bit confused of what will actually change and what is a separate expansion and what's in the Gambler's Chest expansion. The updates are always mixing in things instead of staying on topic. Yeah, I mean, from the gameplay perspective, that can be really wild. And I guess if you have a huge pile of potential, then it just adds to the pile, right? But still, I'm sure that I will paint some of those armor sets this year. And I guess there might be a painting competition, right? Another thing that I considered painting on stream is what is the Nurgle Age of Sigmar faction called? Blightlords, I guess. Yeah, so I wanted to paint the Harbinger of Decay or some of those miniatures. And some of those actually might be also for the Golden Demon. Is anyone else in the chat considering entering Golden Demon? For Inverse Mountain, I am gonna make my own game board with magnets and acrylic glass using my laser to etch the tiles. So I'm more pumped for that, honestly. I'm pumped for all the expansions. Especially Frog Dog. Actually, Frog Dog and well, not Black Knight, but I guess the Witches, the Red Witches, might be some of my favorite expansions that I have seen teased. Golden Demon maybe in 5 years. I mean, you can enter whenever and maybe get some valuable feedback. And I think personally that it's always very valuable lesson when you try to push a single miniature into your maximum standard. You know, essentially full ball sacking the miniature. As Scott the miniature maniac would say. More expansions, more Zoomy streams. There will be more Zoomy streams anyway. I'd love to, but being from Mexico, it's really complicated to go. Plus my painting skill sucks. Don't be too harsh on yourself. I mean, of course, it really depends on what your goal is. My goal is to always improve. That's just my mindset. So painting competitions are quite valuable for me. As it is right now, I am very fixated on Golden Demon. But yeah. If you are the kind of painter that is more of satisfier, I guess, where you just want to get to a certain level and you don't necessarily want to advance further because you just want to paint your stuff, and like it's totally fine, you know, you don't have to compete. Golden Demon maybe once there is more time to paint and get better, I guess. So maybe in like 13 plus years, once my kid hits puberty and won't even want to spend a single minute with his parents. Yeah, it's quite problematic to find 100 hours in your schedule to paint a single mini, right? And yet, there are people who do just that. Then it's a choice between painting entire army versus one competition miniature that might not even win anything. Oh, and also Adele is constantly posting her minis, and then I feel even worse for painting like 3 minis a year. So Atel, you mentioned that you are Czech, right? Yeah, I finished like once this year, so definitely constantly. Yep, born and raised in Prague. So do I know you? I feel like I should. Huh, very strange. Because I feel like I know most of Czech painters. But apparently not. I'm close at it, mini painter, and I'm really a beginner. And are you present in Lantern's Reign, the Discord server? Tell Zumi gonna have a painting class soon, next year maybe, wanna go together. We just drop your husband at the ranch and visit the class. Sounds like a plan. Thank you for the follow. Kuiti Rula. Thank you for the follow, Jabba the Boar. Thank you for the follow, Gross Lurk. So many new followers. Awesome. Here. Let me read the chat real quick. Speaking about this, Zumi, is there any Czech Slovakian painting online Discord community? So there is like a very small messenger chat, and that's mostly for Warhammer painters, honestly. So there is something, not too much, and there is a Facebook group as well. But we should make a Discord server, absolutely. I was also toying around with the idea of making some Czech YouTube content. But the more I think about it every time, I feel like that would be just kind of wasteful, to be honest. Because the painting community in this country is so small that not as many people would value it. Bugging you start painting that one. I definitely thought the same thing. It would be nice to have Czech. Yeah, oh hell, hey, I mean, we can definitely make one if you want. You can message me on Instagram and we can think of something. Because the current chat that we have with the Warhammer painting guys is definitely not enough. Would be good if you pair it up with the gaming side of the hobby, like how Ian's does it. Well, I have to admit that I am definitely more of a painter than gamer. So yeah, but maybe, you know. I might play some KDM. Zoom creating Discord, woohoo! I mean, you can always just delete it if it dies. Yeah, that's true. Hookies, I need to go to bed. Thank you for the stream and answers. Everyone keep on. Thank you for joining the stream. And see you next time, Hookies. I want to try to get to airbrushing on this stream, but the progress is really slow, so I might not get to it. But I swear that I will not touch this mini further. So as you'll see it at the end of the stream, you'll see it at the start of the next one. So everything from now on. Well, I won't promise everything, but most of the stuff that I do on this mini will be now recorded, and you'll see it in VOD at the very least. We need a leakage counter. I wonder, have I licked my brush in like past 30 minutes or so? Because I don't think so. At least twice? No way. I'll throw DM to you on IG after stream regarding the Discord I'm interested in, or should I write via Discord? It doesn't matter, honestly. I think that, yeah, it doesn't matter. There's no way I licked my brush at least twice in the past 30 minutes. I feel like I am really watching myself. Cheers. Do you know what I absolutely hate about drinking cold drinks in this heat? It's the fact that I'll get even sweatier. Thank you for the follow, Super Squire. How about sculpting, kitbashing? Would you say you're also into that aspect of the hobby? I would like to be able to sculpt, but I don't know if you have seen my Golden Demon project for this year, which is already on YouTube and on Instagram. That was a lot of sculpting. There was so much sculpting involved that I think that I exhausted myself for the next year or so. So yeah, I'm a shitty sculptor. I don't know how to do it. But then again, I didn't really watch any tutorials on that. And the drinks get warm quickly too. Yeah, luckily this one is still cold. Then maybe don't drink stuff that is too cold. Fuck you, I do what I want. And cheers. To sweatiness. Hey, Solo the Tomato. This is not beer though. It's like cider. If I drink it faster though, I'll get even more sweaty. Now I just licked my brush. So sorry that I'm not being responsible, but yeah. I'm not sure if you can see it on stream, but it's definitely not as smooth as it appears to be. Oh, no difference. Peachy! When I say that word in Czech, it sounds like one of those really ugly words that you shouldn't say. Okay, there's some more glaze stippling that has to be done. Just a little bit on this spot right here. Shit, I licked my brush again. Yep, I mean the song from the Mario movie. Jack Black sings it. It's really confusing for Czechs. I haven't seen the movie yet, so might have to see it then. Ah, okay, I see. Great spoiler. Gary, are you also 3D painting your 3D prints? Yeah, of course. I also 3D printed some terrain for Kingdom Death. And some of that is already painted. By the way, Atel, are you familiar with We Are the Champions in Japanese? Because that shit is hilarious. There is a certain passage that goes like... I can't even say it without laughing. Because it sounds like... Semchura Krupate, which is absolutely ridiculous. And just to translate it to, yeah, indeed. Just go on YouTube and you'll find it. Yeah, and essentially for you, English listeners, it's like in Czech, what you hear is, I am a hairy dick. Which is very strange. Hey John, how are you? Yes, Japanese version of We Are the Champions. Unfortunately to you, English speaking guys, it won't really mean anything to you, but in Czech it's absolutely hilarious. Yeah, I'm very glad that you enjoy my YouTube channel. So John, tell me, how did you find my Twitch stream? Have you been just browsing Twitch, or have you found it through YouTube? That man is trying to fit an ungodly amount of words into that song. Ah, nice. Okay, via YouTube. Through a YouTube post. That's nice. At least it's nice that it works. I don't feel like there is like that the community tab on YouTube is that useful. But for promoting the Twitch, it definitely has been, as far as I can see. Also, I think that someone subscribed and I'm not sure. Well, Squeezel followed me, so thank you for that. Thanks to all new followers. Thank you, Eduardo Dusik. I guess I should pronounce it in Czech. Oh no, no new subscribers. Okay, just followers. Thank you to everyone who is new to the stream. Welcome on board. Enjoy your stay. So now, Atel, you have to show it to your friends and your coworkers. You are contractually obligated to show it to your coworkers. Mission success, I guess. Pokidog Paints. Hey Zumikido, I am also here from YouTube and it's my first time catching you live. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Hope that you are enjoying the stream. I would enjoy it myself if it wasn't so hot in here. Okay, I will leave it like this. This is fine. This is also fine. Okay, great. So we can move to the torso. Wait, we still have to paint these parts. Oh, mama. Barksucker, my voice the same and usually ends up with a painted tongue. That's true. Wet shirt, let's go! Oh. Well, I had to change my t-shirt already one time, so... Maybe I'll have to do it again. Hair from a beard does not fall into a wet palette. Sometimes it does. That's a very unique problem that I have, I assume. But it's definitely not too bad. If I start noticing my beard in the wet palette, at that point I think that the wet palette is too old anyway and I should replace the baking paper. So that's a sign. Zumi, not even wearing KDM t-shirt, disappointed. Well, I am sorry, I don't own a KDM t-shirt. I tell you what, I'm starting to sweat now. T-shirt deactivated. Yeah, unfortunately I cannot take off my t-shirt. Because of course, that would show my nipples. And that would mean the end of my stream. Use for 000 brush. Are wet palettes worth it? What do you mean, are wet palettes worth it? Of course they are worth it. I think that wet palettes are essential. Well, if you are not dry brushing. I told you, paste these on your nips. Yeah, I guess. Or just cut off your nipples, you know, and that's fine. Upcoming hot tub stream No. I'm actually surprised how many hot tub streams are there on Twitch. Jeez, soon as I make fresh palette, I have plenty of cat hair in it. Well, I'm allergic to cats, so I can't even have this problem. See, I wanted to lick my brush just now, but I stopped myself. This exact spot that I am painting right now is absolutely terrible to paint on stream because you can't see it. So these are exactly the things that I would consider painting off stream. And it's also the reason why I didn't paint the face on stream, because that would be pretty much impossible. Zoom is evolving. Nice booty. Do you mean my booty or her booty? Haha, it's the quickest way to point a brush. Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely did not just share it with my friends to ruin the song for them too. I mean, I don't think that too many of your friends are listening to We Are the Champions in Japanese anyway. So, they'll be fine. Quick way to unlearn brush licking. Use oil. No. I won't use oil paints. Now, to be actually serious for a minute, I think that oil paints are fine. Oil washes are also fine. But as you have seen in my most popular video, oil washes absolutely wrecked my Space Marine army. So you gotta be careful. No, like, oil washes are absolutely fine. They are fantastic even. Whether it is pen washes or actual, like, thicker oil washes, you just cannot let them fully cure. If you do, then you're fucked. Lacquers. I haven't tried any lacquer based paints, so can't really tell you much about them. But maybe MTech Productions knows something about lacquer paints, because he is fan of some of those Asian painters that use them, right? I feel lacquers are more for airbrushing, can't really hand paint with those. Use them all the time for Gundam. See, I like my brush. Yeah, there definitely should be a lick counter, but I have no idea how to set it up. That is how I started painting, airbrushing garage kits with lacquer paints. Now my infinity is basically a wreck. Sucks to suck. Unless you want to erase your mistakes with solvents. I'm envious of your skill and need to binge watch your YouTube channel now rather than dip in and out. Well, thank you. You don't have to be envious because it took me fuck ton of time to get somewhat decent. And some people will tell you that I still suck. So, yeah. But yeah. Chat will just spam lick when we catch it. No worries. Fantastic. You would either need a mod, or you can just add a text box in OBS and change the number every time. No, I can't change the number manually every time. That's too intrusive. Other than your channel, what channels do people admire? Yeah, I mean, you just have to ask the chat. If you guys feel like it, you can plug any of your favorite channels. I don't mind. Make a hot button for the lick counter. Would also add to the NIB sensor, just like the TV. Hot stuff. Jesus Christ. Okay, the chat is starting to get a little bit crazy. Or rather, I don't feel confident in catching up with you guys, but that's okay. That's fine. Now you can't even see what I'm painting. I can see it perfectly, but for some reason it doesn't work on camera. Random e-girls. Miniac for me, different type of content, and lately Ninja. Yeah, definitely solid recommendations. You know what? Actually, when I started YouTube, the person that I admired the most was Miniac, because he was like the first person to actually make it on YouTube, to become a full-time miniature painting creator. So I told myself, basically, if he can do it, I think that I might be able to do it as well. And yeah, he was a big inspiration for me. Feels noted if we get to see what exactly you're painting. Yes, Ninjot has the same energy, just no beard. My son loved Ninjon but moved to Dan Kirby and Sorastro. Beard strong. To be honest, you and Miniac are my idols to start YouTube. Oh, do you have a channel of your own? I'm so sorry if that I'm not familiar with your channel. Or am I? Just plug it if you want. Cujo painting has great content. Cujo is great for sure. Unfortunately, he doesn't optimize his content to actually attract the general audience that's interested in miniature painting. And you know, this is like a big problem with YouTube overall. You kinda have to make your content attractive to general audience, and most of your audience is consisted of Warhammer gamers who wanna see Space Marines and speed painting. So yeah. Maniac 90s videos was awesome. Not yet created. Work life. Oh, okay. Does Cujo even make content anymore? Not sure, Ben. I am wondering the same thing. But doesn't he stream from time to time? Just like the trans slap chop. everybody jumped on that bandwagon. Yeah, I am trying to find a compromise between like doing the popular stuff on YouTube and doing the stuff that I actually want to create. So yeah, it's kind of difficult balancing act on my end. If I just painted Space Marines, it would definitely be more efficient. And it also sucks that at this point it's a business decision. So if you actually choose to make content about anything else other than Warhammer, then it's just like not optimal, right? Squidmar is another fun one to follow. Yeah, actually, like Squidmar, for example, like his videos are absolutely amazing, but it took me a long time to kinda not like get used to them, but to kinda get a feel for them, I guess. Because when I watch miniature painting stuff, I really want to learn, and Squidmar's videos are pure entertainment. So yeah, like that's a very good content that's optimized for YouTube. It's centered around Warhammer. It's very easily digestible for the viewer. It's really fantastic. It checks all the boxes for YouTube growth. Squidmars and Midwinter Minis content got so different from what it was originally. Don't want to say bad, but just not my kind of stuff anymore. Yeah, I think that's exactly it. It just got more general. It got more into entertainment and less like education, I guess. It's not a bad thing. Definitely works for YouTube. I would like to do something like that myself, but I'm not necessarily into diorama building. Well, maybe I could do dioramas, but definitely not build, you know, those big-ass Warlord Titans. I was wondering if it was just me that noticed that Squidmar's wits became much less informative. I think it's not like a secret or I think it's generally known that his content is more based on entertainment and not like information and education. And once more, it's not a bad thing. He definitely knows what he's doing. And it's definitely important to consider the growth potential. I feel like you can watch Squidmar's video like whenever you want, but you don't want to necessarily watch a tutorial whenever you want. You have to be in a certain mindset. But the thing is, it used to be information, and now it is just different. Yeah, it is different, but it's not bad, you know. He still shows the process, so you can still follow the steps, kind of like cooking and knowing the ingredients, just not the exact amount. Yeah, like he optimizes it for entertainment. You are not like supposed to exactly learn. It's supposed to be easily digestible content. I mean, like, just imagine an average Warhammer fan who just got in front of his computer with his dinner, and now he is browsing YouTube. Then he sees two different videos. Let's say then that one is a tutorial from Vince Venturella, and the other one is Squidmar creating a diorama. I don't know about you, but I think that most of the time, people would pick the diorama building. It's just like more easily digestible. And that's what makes it so successful for YouTube. Speaking of Warhammer, what do you think of 10th edition, Zumi? Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, I am not too much into playing Warhammer. So I don't think that my opinion matters that much. If they keep on changing the point values all the time, I'm not sure that I'm gonna even like try to learn 10th edition. And as far as I am aware, they already started changing some point values, right? However, if there is one Warhammer game that I would have to get into, it would be Warhammer Underworld. What are people's opinions on Raphael and Rosemary and Cool brushes? I haven't tried them, so I have no clue. But I feel like as long as you have some good sable hair brushes, it's gonna perform well. Warhammer Underworlds was good, but the card chase to stay playable is really fierce. And I think that they released some new kind of format where you don't really have to chase different cards, right? Or am I wrong? Raphael for life, Winter and Newton. Yeah, I really like Winter and Newton. Right now I am using DaVinci Maestro Series 35. It's fantastic. It's very close to Winter and Newton Series 7, but I think that Winter and Newton has an edge. Just be careful, there's a German spice manufacturer with the same name. Would make the brushes more lickable. Oh, definitely. Some spicy brushes. Some spicy brush action. And easier to paint, a hot color scheme. Or spicy brushes to prevent licking. I would lick them anyway. By the way, thank you Spill Paintbot for follow. Thank you Landrew666 for follow. And everyone else that I missed. I just can't keep up, so sorry. Still waiting for flavor brushes. Not gonna lie, a spicy brush might make me more likely to lick it. Yeah, same. Same for me. Battle Razor, are you gonna start your own brand of brushes and make this actual business? Please do. Why is her bum so red? She looks like she's been spanked. I don't know. Maybe she has. And no worries, it'll get only worse. Now when I think about it, maybe I should tune it down because I will actually airbrush it again with magenta. And that might make it a bit too overwhelming. Oh, that's good enough. Spilled paint pot. I think maybe if you laid an egg that big, you might have a red bump too. No. I think that she is just sitting on the egg. Sorry, Gary, but apparently Automod actually blocked your message. So I'm not sure if I can allow it. Or was it John? No, it was you, Gary. I don't know the terms of service of Twitch as well as you guys, so should I risk it or not? Maybe not. So sorry, Gary. Insight into Zumi's mind. If this is from Kingdom Death, then I wouldn't be surprised if she had laid it. Yeah, it might be actually. That's true. Welcome to the Censored Club, Gary. And thank you, Typhus, for the bit. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. I'm so sorry, Gary. The thing is, this is like my third stream ever, or third official stream ever. So I am just not familiar with how sexual can this stream get. I assume it cannot get sexual at all. So I would just rather not risk it. Tech Productions. I'd assume this stream can't get sexual. Bold assumptions. I mean, yeah, if you check some of those hot tub streams, those get very hot. And they just pretend that it's not in sexual context, right? Well, you get smexy hunky Chad doing the painting sexual as fuck. Yeah, let me just check something on Twitch. They assume Zumi saying he's hot is because of the weather. But we all know the truth. Stop it, you guys. I can't handle this. Kingdom Death is probably the line where can bring out the at the McDonald's. Falls for Ranchi miniatures. Easter Aya is considered being from the pinup range, right? No, actually. Thank you for the follow, Kato Kid. Easter Aya is just a standalone sale. Standalone box. White box, actually. With game content, even. Can't see what's going on under the desk. And by the way, funnily enough, this desk is also height adjustable. So I can actually paint standing up, which might be more convenient because I wouldn't get as sweaty since this chair is kinda not letting my skin breathe. In truth, Zumi does not have a stand desk. Okay, you asshole, you asked for it. So now this stream, I will conclude with me standing up. Jesus Christ. Now I have to adjust everything. Congratulations. And you can all thank Gary for this. Thank you for the sub, Spilled Paintpot. I don't even know if I can stream like this. Jesus Christ. Thank you, Gary. See what you did? Thank you for the sub. They look cute-ish. Awesome nickname, by the way. Now I also have to adjust this. Do you realize how flippin' annoying this is? You don't even realize. Oh. Best stream yet? What do you mean? Jesus Christ! How many sub? Oh,